Welcome, Adventure. I'm GM Goblin, your GM Goblin, and today we're going to go over another archetype from the Ultimate Kineticist Compendium. We're going to be going over the Elemental Scion. I'm going over a couple of these archetypes because I'm going to be using them in an upcoming campaign, and I figured I'd put them out since I had to do a little bit of playing around with them to look at them, and I can't find a whole lot about them. So I've hit the Reddit and added things online, and I figured might as well add it to YouTube as well. But if you have any comments, questions, or any ideas for any more videos, leave them in the comment section below. And remember, hit that like and subscribe button. And here we go. So, Elemental Scion. Now you can put this onto either a standard Kineticist, or you can use this on a legendary Kineticist, which I am also using in this campaign. The main difference that you're going to see with a legendary Kineticist using this book is going to be the fact that you get your element level 6 instead of level 7. And then, of course, I use the standard burn instead of what is originally listed for the legendary Kineticist. Legendary Kineticist actually has burn as taking points from their strength, dexterity, stuff like that. For everyone, it takes -1, and then of course you still have a limit. I use the standard burn for this because I don't believe it's balanced really otherwise. If you wanted to make a different build, if you made something else, then maybe you can make it work okay and it wouldn't be a big deal. But for what we're doing, we're going to go ahead and stick with a good old normal one. So, Elemental Scion. There are some who, instead of focusing on the powers beyond their own, decide to concentrate on their innate talents to acquire powers far beyond a minor dabbler. The Geokineticists of the Purple Mountain are especially staunch in their training, rarely diverting from the strict curriculum of rigorous devotion to. And in those two sentences, you pretty much get what this is about. So your Elemental Scion is going to be focusing on whatever element that you want. And from there, you will not divert. There's no way to get another element. I looked for all sorts of stuff, including things involving races, but it does not work out. So, your first ability, which you're getting at level 1, your Elemental Heart. Devotion of an Elemental Scion supersedes all others. When an Elemental Scion selects their element for their Elemental Focus class feature, they can choose to either gain both associated simple blasts for their element, if it has 2 different simple blasts, or increase the damage of one of the blasts that you select by 1 step. So going from 6 to 8 in general. And this is going to replace or alter your Elemental Focus class feature and replaces the infusion granted at first level. So this is going to be where you start. You're stuck with whichever one you decide until you hit level 6 or 7. And I, for one, am going to be going with air for my build. And I'm specifically going to be taking both of my simple blasts because I'm less worried about that extra 1 point of damage at low level. And I'm more worried about the fact that I come into something that having a bludgeoning attack will be more appropriate than having a electrical strike. So next, we've got a big jump up to 7th level, and what that gives us is Focused Element. So this, like I said, this is going to be replacing your Expanded Element class feature at 7, level 6 if you're using a Legendary Kineticist. But level, an Elemental Scion gains a composite blast that requires an expanded element from their primary element. So you're going to get a composite blast for it, even though you're not taking another element. Go with it, that's fine. Just take, in my case, it'll just be Thunderstorm, but I won't be using it because the other archetype I use. An Elemental Scion is treated as 2 levels higher, for the purpose of which infusions and utility wild talents they can select, as well as increasing the DCs of the infusions and wild talents by +1. This is the main reason that I took this class. I didn't care about a damage bump. I was slightly mortified about being restricted to just air element when I wanted to grab either something else for utility, or defense. But that right there is going to allow you to get things sooner. You can get Spark of Life, you can get Ride the Spark, all these things, you can get them faster so that you can open up your kit to some of the good mid-level things. In addition, they also gain an additional utility wild talent of the infusion, which is fantastic. I'm playing a half-breed, which means I can use the human alternate level advancement racial. And so every 6 levels, I'm going to be gaining another wild talent as well. And for me, it's going to be level 6. So 3 utility talents right there, all in one whack. Elemental Scion did not increase the damage die of a simple blast at first level. They may choose to do so for one of the simple blasts in place of the infusion or utility wild talent with this ability. So you can replace a utility, get it back, or increase your damage if you want. An Elemental Scion may now select an additional simple blast talent associated with their element as though it was the first level utility wild talent. So also I forgot to mention that at your original ability where you can get your second blaster and increase, it does replace your infusion, so you're gonna be a little lacking. There's no extend or extending your range at first level, so you're gonna have to get pretty close. Elemental Master, 15th level. An Elemental Scion increases the DC of their infusions and wild talents. Once again, here we go, is a +1. This is going to be real similar to what you would normally have whenever you were advancing and you just picked the same class over again. At least it is with the Legendary Kineticist, where it actually gives you a +1 to attack, +1 to DCs, but they give you a +1 to caster level. Playing energy, it's going to be a little bit hard to give up because I really do want to be able to get past those that spell resistance at mid-late level, but I'm going to have to find other ways to do it because this replaces it, so I don't get it. But in addition, you also get another utility wild talent or infusion. So, and that's the main thing, like I said, for taking this class, is I want to get as many utility abilities, a lot of them being universal, so that I can do more for my party. Because we do not have an arcane caster. So me and UMD are going to do some work. And then level 20, Elemental Embodiment. At 20th level, Scion has reached the peak of their power. Elemental Scion treats all infusions and wild talents as though they had accepted 1 point of burn or increased the burn cost by 1 for the purpose of their effect. They also gain 1 additional infusion and utility wild talent. Pretty common for the rest of this. So, like I said, it's not too bad. There are better ones, in my opinion, that you can pick, especially if they will let you do it if you're just looking to be a blaster. If you want to play with some other elements and you don't get to play a lot of a kineticist, then don't pick this. But like I said, the reason I'm doing it is for that juicy +2 levels, purpose of which I can choose the infusions or wild talent. So that's the reason I recommend this. If you find yourself lacking, if you ever played it and you don't have a lot to do, maybe you're trying to catch up with things that you can do for the caster, or you end up finding yourself taking elements, or I should say utility and infusions that are not very good. You just take them because they're all you can take at that level. Then see if you can stick to one element and try this thing out. I'm going to give it a shot and see how I like it. I don't have to retrain this guy for the first handful of levels, but if I run into any problems, I will update you all later. But anyway, enjoy your games this weekend and good luck, guys.